Jarvan jungle is officially back into the meta. In the 11.16 patch, he received massive buffs to his clear speed and his ultimate damage. Because of this, combined with the fact that we've fully transitioned into a ganking meta, Jarvan is now a top tier pick to climb the solo queue ladder with. So you can see here already we have Agurin from the EUS server who is currently rank 14 and is already abusing Jarvan in high elo. I'm going to be using his gameplay here to explain to you how to play optimally on Jarvan and how to think if you want to be a high elo jungler. So for how you want to clear on Jarvan, he actually has a lot of options. Here you can see Agurin is opting for a full clear in towards his top side, and this is going to be because his top laner is playing Ornn versus Vayne. Agurin knows that this Vayne is going to shove Ornn to his tower, and he knows that if he knocks Vayne up because she's very overextended and vulnerable, then Ornn will be able to simply put down his pillar and follow up the knockup with his own knockup, and that'll just be a free guaranteed kill every time. So what Agurin is essentially doing on this Jarvan pick is pathing towards the easiest lane for him to gank. And he's locking in his decision to be playing around this Ornn because he's completely clearing out his bottom side, and he's going to be around top side for the rest of the first clear, and he'll be looking out for Vayne whenever she's easy to gank. Here you can see, if you look at the map, that Vayne is quite far up in the top lane, and this would be a good gank opportunity, but you can see Agurin is opting into full clear on the Jarvan here, and this is going to be because we don't actually know where the enemy jungler is. The enemy jungle is playing Agurin, and Agurin did not place a ward level 1 to figure out where he will start. And you can see just how those passive buffs really helped out with the clear. He finished at 315 and he's already coming up here for that top gank. Ornn hit his knock up because Vayne was at the wall, and it's just going to be very easy for Agurin to follow this one up and pick this one up here for himself. So you can see very free kill, very easy. Every single time he'll come up to top lane when Vayne is that far up, he's just going to get himself fed and he will carry the game. You can see here Agurin ganked the bottom lane, they just got dove, and that's going to tell us straight away that Agurin has actually started on the top side. If he ends up on the bottom side of the map around when the Scuttle Crab spawned, then that tells us he did his red buff first and he pathed down, right? Agurin here scouting for camps, trying to find some counter jungle. Fighting this Vayne 1v1 is a little bit risky here. He just used his EQ combo and just walking into auto attack range as a melee versus a ranged champion. Very risky, and this EQ, he could have just EQ'd away instead of on her. Maybe he's overestimating what the Jarvan buffs did. Thought he could maybe 1v1 her, but you can see bit of a mistake there from Agurin, but it's completely fine. All he really lost was time and his flash, because he'd base anyway for this Iron Spike whip here. You can see here he's walking straight over to the mid lane. A fight's happening, he wants to go see if he can change anything about it. And then here he should path into his bottom side and continue the clear, and continue abusing that Vayne in the top lane. Might look for a counter gank on the bottom side because we know Agurin was just around there, but it doesn't look like the bot lane's in danger, so he will just continue to farm here. Echo on the map, might be looking for an invade. Got to be careful of those kind of things when the enemy laners go missing. You can see just some standard farming here. If he doesn't think there's any good gank opportunity, he will simply just farm. You can see here he's looking for a lane gank onto Blitz and Kalista. Sweep to make sure they don't know he's there. He's sitting in this bush waiting for that minion to die so he can walk in safely without being spotted. Thresh gets hooked, so now he's going to be moving. Thresh hooks the Blitz, follows up that CC with his own, and they nearly pop him, but Agurin does show up for the counter gank here. And you know, you can see they can definitely re-engage this. If Aphelios can root that Kalista, she'd definitely be dead. But it looks like it was on cooldown, so he's just going to help them push this wave in, provide them some safety, give them a good recall. Maybe they'll look for Dragon here, but I think his bot lane's just going to base and he'll look for that bottom crab, since it is spawning there on the yellow timer. Placing a ward just for a bit of safety. And looks like his bot lane is staying, so they will take the dragon here. And you can see Agurin in the top side with 1 kill managed to actually solo kill that Vayne there. He's now up a whole level on her. So you see, ganks pay off. If you can help your laners win their lanes, they're going to help you win the game. And you can see here, provides a gank for bottom lane, provides them safety for a recall, gets their wave out, and they help him with the dragon and the crab. So you see, playing jungle, help your lanes to help yourself, essentially. You can't just AFK farm, you do have to be active on the map, but that doesn't mean showing up everywhere every 2 seconds. You can see Agurin there in the mid lane, ganking his mid laner. Agurin not reacting to that one. I think it looked like he almost alt-tabbed out of the game, because this is from his point of view stream. You can see recalls straight away for his boots. He knows he has 950 gold after that red buff. Hits the back button straight away. Doesn't want to continue farming if it's not going to give him any better of a recall. So looking at the top lane, again you can see Vayne is quite far up in that lane. Agurin is warded out here, but he'll probably still look for that top lane. It's very, very easy to just jump on her with that ulti with the damage buff. He'll probably just one-shot her. But he does need to be aware of the Agurin here. We did see him around the top side river. Vayne trying to find the juke. Trying to find an outplay there. Action on the bottom side of the map. Agurin knows Agurin's down there, so he's looking for a counter jungle here. And then he'll probably look for that Herald, if not the solo kill on the Vayne. Because that tower, if it's just left for Vayne to keep hitting, she's going to start building up a bit of a lead in the top lane with 2 plates. And that could let her come back and win the lane. You can see he's not taking any risk with the Herald here. Enemy mid is missing, enemy top is missing. So if they show up, Agurin's going to be screwed. So respecting lane priority right there. Agurin returning to lane here, you can see with his ulti. Might look for a gank here. Or he will just start the Herald. I think it would have been a lot easier to go gank top lane, kill the Vayne first with his ulti and Agurin's ulti, and then take this, because then there wouldn't be any fear of an Agurin Vayne rotate here. But it's understandable that Vayne would want to recall with only 2 long swords to her name. So again, no gank happen, no gank available. Continues farming. Agurin shows up on the bot side of the map. He may look for the Krugs here, or they're just gonna go for a dive on the Vayne because they know it's gonna be safe. And Agurin looks like he's just gonna completely solo kill the Vayne here. I wonder if Agurin will even get in range for this. There's actually Vayne with the outplay is trying to find something there, but a bit unlucky there. Agurin does hit that last Q. And with that, they should be able to take that full tower right there with the Herald. So you see in these high elo games, if a play's happening bot side from the enemy team, there should be a play happening top side from your team. In most cases. Or if it's not possible, that's quite a bad game to be playing, let's just say. Because if you can't make any plays and the enemy keeps making plays, you're just going to keep falling behind. Agurin there escorting the Herald. Might have been looking for a kill on Vayne there. Pinging on the way to Agurin, but he just wants to reset. Completely fine. Takes the Agurin's camp, so he'll probably just reset here. Unless he's looking for his full gore drinker on his next base. So you've got to be aware of what gold value is a base for your champion. If you're playing Elise, a good base would be 1050, 1100, because you can get your full Sorks, or you can look for the Night Harvester or Protobelt first component. If you're playing Trundle, playing Sunderer build, you could look for a base on 700 gold if there's nothing else for you to do. And you can see here he is pinging that gold value there. Bit triggered how his mid laner took his raptors. But yeah, he is looking for that gold drinker before he recalls. Trying to find a counter jungle there again. But the crab is spawning up here, so he should be able to pick this one up and then reset, if not gank the Vayne again. So he'll have gold with that, yep, and he's just going to go for a base here. And then I'd say he's going to run straight down to this bot side, because he might be expecting another dive down here. We just saw Agurin on the dragon, and with them being this far up, and Agurin being around and Echo having mid priority, it can be very expected that this would be a bot lane dive, and you can see his bot lane is respecting it. Doesn't react to the Echo fight, because he would not make it on time. Philios tries to find a fight there, but they do just walk away. Fight happening again as soon as Jarvan walks away, so Agurin's coming back in. They could definitely win this one if he can pop the Kalista, but looks like they will just play it safe and back off. Clearing out the wards. Providing safety for the bottom lane so they're not 0 and 10. Might look for the Agurin here. He is just face checking into his jungle. And when you're playing against an Agurin, this champion is very, very weak in the 1v1. You can always look for kills on him. Oh, the Blitzcrank nearly caught out Agurin, but he does have flash. You can see here playing without the bot lane prio can be a bit risky because the enemy team can always rotate from bot lane. Thresh with the funky missed hook trying to make a play, and he gets hooked by the Blitzcrank. Oh no. He misses hook and gets hooked over the wall. Oh no. Bit of a sad play there. But it's actually quite good that he didn't hit the hook there. Because if they would have went in, I think they would have traded 1 for 2. You can see here, Agurin just muted all on the left side of the screen. You shouldn't be listening to your teammates' pings, especially if it's not productive. If you start thinking, this guy's pings just don't make any sense, just mute them. Or if someone's toxic in chat, you need to be muting them, because that's going to take away from your own focus for playing the game. You can see here, even with challenger teammates, Agurin does mute everybody. As he continues to farm here, because there is just no play available for him on the map right now. Vayne's farming safely top lane, Echo's completely missing from the mid lane, and bot lane is also completely missing. And also all his camps are topside. So I wonder what he'll be buying next after this Gore Drinker buy of his. You can see he's always being very efficient with his clear, with his kiting, with his blue Gromp grouping. He might look for a solo kill on the Vayne there. If not, a recall. There we go. Might be looking to prevent a dive bot lane. I think we just saw everybody there. Yeah, his camps will be respawning bot side, so he will head down towards bot side. Kalista shows mid. Bit risky to walk into here. Into the fog of war. Do we see Blitzcrank? They're looking for a dive mid. I think they could definitely turn this one around. They can definitely turn this one around. If Kalista has a big bounty, that's definitely something Agurin wants to look for here, and I think he is. Trying to find that ulti. Does find it. 900 gold right there, and that is exactly how you can come back from a game with 2 or 3 losing lanes. These bounties are what allow you to come back into games, and they are also exactly what throw your games if you feed them away. Vayne walking in here into the fog of war by herself. Agurin spots this and does opt in to kill her. Might die here if the Vlad does not pick her up, and very, very close. Very, very close there, actually. Vayne with the condemn, putting down the hurt onto Jarvan. You can see here farming away. A little bit of a risky position to be farming in when the enemy's dropping wards over the wall. I think he will die for this one here. Yep, there's just no way he escapes this one. Not on this health. And there's just no way he finds an execute here, I would say. Oh, trying to find the sneaky jukes. Oh, that was a bit funny. I didn't think there was any chance at all there for an escape, but almost proved me wrong. If he managed to EQ out, maybe he could have walked out and then had another EQ. You can see he doesn't respect being 10% HP and the enemy being right around the wall. So he does die for that one. I'd say that's the first or second big mistake from him. In a game like this, if you're the only one who's actually doing well on your team, or you're the only one of 2 players that are doing well, if you die, then the game essentially just goes to ruin. Without you alive and having losing lanes, it's very, very difficult to win. See here, looking for that crab. I really doubt he'll look for Herald here unless Echo finishes his recall. See Echo and Vlad fighting topside. He should rotate here. Might find a free kill. Might be a bounty on Echo. He is dominating. I think he should be able to find a kill here. Walk up just straight away. Hit him with the ulti. And auto attack him until you see the E come out. Because he can just reactively dash the EQ combo. You can see there Echo does not reactively dash it. Looks like he might escape this one. Oh, Agurin does find the gap close there. Nice bounty pick up there. Will he find a lantern here? I hate when that happens when you're playing with a Thresh and you can't click the lantern because the enemy spams wards on it. I think he will escape from this one. Yeah, I think Echo misplayed that one a bit. His E was definitely up. He could have reactively dashed the Jarvan EQ and then just comboed him and walked away with the move speed for sure. Yeah, these bounties, he's picked 2 of them up now. I can see here he's up a full item on the Agurin, who's just full of assists and AFK farm. So back to where his camps are. Farming up nice and peacefully. Might look for a bot lane dive with the Ornn who's pushing up. Vayne should probably rotate there for a mid lane to catch the wave. Or he'll just continue farming his own jungle and tell Ornn to play safe. See, pinging enemy blue buff. Yep, there's the Vayne on the rotate down to bot lane. But yes, he will just continue farming here. No point walking into the river when there's nothing to really do there. If he'd go for an invade there, it would be really bad because the enemy team is there and his team is nowhere near to back him up. Looking for the Vayne here. Oh, Fog of War sneakiness. Does not go for the ulti. I'm quite surprised. I think he definitely could have popped her there. But he does find that one there from the Ornn ulti. Nice pickup there. Good read. Should find the crab here. Should be a little bit careful of the enemy team coming from the bush above him. Looks like no one's around. And with this advantage, Vayne being dead, they can definitely look for like a 5v4 here, or like a 4 versus 3 while Echo's top lane. So you see they are sieging right now. This is not the time to just be AFK farming when they've got an advantage like this. Now everyone's rotated to defend the tower. They're just going to back off here. I'd say you'll just look for a base. Back into his top side then. Unless he's looking for a specific buy again, or he thinks that a play might happen. Bit risky to walk into here. He does have the Thresh to lantern him, so nothing to be afraid of really. Echo walks away from that one. Now Echo's not really in the fight here. They could definitely engage this one. He could definitely go into the Callista here right now with the ulti. I'm not sure why he's not just pressing ult. She might have flash, but he could just follow it up with the EQ. Does get popped by all those stacks from Callista. But this should be a very, very good fight for them. They were fighting when Echo wasn't actually in a position to join. And they do actually win this one, despite being behind. So you can see, if you can find these kind of good fights, if you can find those bounties, you can come back in these kinds of games. You can see here, he does have full Black Cleaver and Gore Drinker, and now he is building a Dirk. He must be going into a Serpent's Fang because the enemy does have Shield Bow and an Ivern. Also have the Echo W, so it would be very big value to get rid of those shields in fights. You can see here he's going to his wolves. The dragon is spawning, so he's going to be pathing down towards there. He has enough time to potentially clear both the wolves and raptors and then be at the dragon, if they're actually even planning on contesting. Looks like they might not be. They are behind. Might just give this one up. Nope, here comes the Ornn TP. Agurin ping that they're on the way. So I think it's going to be a 5v5 right here. And with the Ornn and Jarvan, they have a very solid front line for the Aphelios. So even though he's behind, he should be able to stay alive and put out some damage. And here we go. Blitz starts off with a flash hook. Agurin trying to find someone to get onto, EQ onto Echo, ults him to one-shot him straight away. Now he's going to be looking for the next EQ. Who can he CC up? Okay, here comes the Ornn. Huge ulti there. Jarvan follows that up beautifully with his EQ, knocks them up, and that is a very, very well played fight. Bit of a forced engage from the Blitz there, and they punished that very nicely. Ornn ulti there, though, was absolutely huge with the follow-up. Let them get onto those priority targets and just one-shot them. Really nicely played. Can't click the lantern because he E'd straight on top of it. One trick, actually, if you can't click on lanterns, is to just zoom in fully. It should help you with clicking the lantern. Even if there's a ward, you'll be able to find an area usually, or a gap where you can click the lantern. But with that fight, they will be able to pick this Baron up here, and you can see Aphelios is going to pick up that dragon by himself. So really, really nicely played there. Agurin's going to come back here, take his Grump, and I'd say recall, spent his gold. So now it looks like they are starting to pull ahead of the enemy team, potentially. Can't see CS and items right now, but I think they are starting to get ahead. See here, going for the Death Stance. This will allow him to be in the fights for a lot longer. He'll be less affected by burst, essentially. Won't get popped by Echo in 1 second. As you can see, he doesn't actually have any magic resist for the Echo, and he is quite strong. You can see here his mid lane is sieging Ornn, Aphelios and Thresh, so he will group up with them here, keep them safe if a fight breaks out. Okay, never mind, scratch that. Fight happening bot lane. They're going to respect in the mid lane. And here comes Jarvan. Agurin looking for that Echo. Jumps on him straight away. He has no E to escape. Really nice reactive play there. And with that kill, they should be able to even look for a dive with the Ornn ulti onto someone. If they can pick off the Callista, I think this will pretty much seal the deal for them. EQ, W to slow. Big damage onto the Vayne. She does escape that one. But now that's another player removed from the game for a few seconds. So here they could find a 5v3 potentially. But I'd say they'll probably want to back off after this one. Echo's respawning soon. His Vlad is half HP. He's half HP. Unless they find some kind of good engage here. I'd say they just want to play this one safe. Take the bot tower and reset. Okay, Thresh finds a really good hook onto Callista. She dies, and I think this might even just be game. Vayne gets hit up by that Ornn ulti. Yep, 2 kills right there. The biggest carry's dead, essentially. If they take out Echo, this is just going to be game because they only have 2 supports left. Flashes in, ulties when he sees 2 people stacked up, trying to find more kills. Zones them off those towers. He's going to keep smacking away at this one. Death timer's 20 seconds on Vayne and Kalista. They can definitely keep sieging here. Echo trying his best there. You can see on the map to prevent the minions from getting to the tower. We can see now Vayne and Kalista respawning soon, but with Echo dead, if they just find an EQ, they should be able to just one-shot her up. Yep, there it is. Aphelios finds the root, Jarvan follows with EQ, and they just one-shot her. Thresh, beautiful hook again, hits the Vayne, and with that one, they're just gonna run over the enemy team. As you can see, Agurin manages to come back from this one, and they do surrender. So hopefully you learned a lot from that video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.